Nityananda, Advaita Gadadha, Shiva Sati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shrimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Okay, Swagatam, Suswagatam. Welcome to this Bhagavat Shravan. What does Rupa Goswami say about the Panchanga Bhakti? Remember? There's 64 angas of Bhakti in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And yes, Alinishta?
Is it association with devotees residing in the
Yes.
Listening to Bhagavatam?
Yes.
And
deity worship.
Deity worship, yeah.
So Rupa Goswami says, Shradadare Stupan Shake. Shraddha Dure Stupan Shake. If you have even Shraddha Dure, Dure means, what's the meaning? Durastam. Dure means far, distant, faint, slight. Shraddha Dure Stupan Shake. Panchake means those 5. Panchanga Bhakti. Sadhya Bhava Janmane. You have a slight faith in those 5. Not a big one. Shraddha Dure. Dure means distant. Sadhya, if you're not offensive, Bhava Janmane. It will generate Bhav in you. Even one of the 5. So we're doing Bhagavat Shravan. So you can well imagine if you took it to heart, Shrinvatam Shradaya Nitya Grinatas Vasheshtitam Karina Natitirgana Bhagavan Vishate Ridi. If you take Bhagavatam earnestly to heart and you put effort, of course, Karina Natitirgana, in no time, Bhagavan Vishate Ridi, Krishna will come in the heart. He's already in the heart, but be careful. He's neutral. Krishna says in 1323, Upadrashta Anumantacha Bhakta Bhuktad Maheshvaraha. He's neutral. He's Paramatma. He's I consent, I witness, I supervise. That's neutrality. That's Paramatma. But when we say Bhagavad Vishate Ridi, means it's not Paramatma. It's Bhagwan. You follow? So if you are earnest in your understanding of Bhagavatam with effort, Grinitas means you put effort. Then Bhagavan Vishate Ridi. In the heart, it will appear. So this is the idea. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you see or not?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I don't want to again go through Yata Shrishtam. There's 2 parts within it, remember? Kalan Shrishti and Karya Shrishti.
Karya Shrishti.
So, well, just in 30 seconds, what's the difference? Kalan Shrishti, Karya Shrishti. Kalan means?
Karan Shrishti is the cause.
Yes, very good.
And Karya Shrishti is the...
Sorry?
The creation.
Karya is the effect.
Karya means?
Activity,
Karya is the
action.
It's written here. Yeah, effect. You're right. So just like, you know, the law of cause and effect, the sidewalk is wet. That is the effect. Why?
Because it rains.
Very good. So simple. So the cause, because we say in English, because, okay, Karan, and the effect is right here. See? This is the effect. So what is the effect? We discussed. Everything was, when the time came, We discussed the Panchamahabhut, Dravya Shakti, 23 elements. That's basically Mahatattva. Remember, Pradhan is non-differentiated. It's even there's no breakdown of the modes. It's like the woman, she's not pregnant. She's in a neutrality stage. Mahatattva it has broken down. She's pregnant. There's transformation. So we are going into the effect now. Now the ingredients were ready, but in an unmixed state. Then the Lord enters. Unless he enters, nothing's going to happen. Nothing. The car may be on the parking lot, in parking drive, in parking neutral stage. The car's not going to move. The Lord has to enter to make bodies. And of course, we discussed, remember, very important verse last time. Remember? 33, Bhagavat Shakti Choditaha. This is very important verse. 33. So by this, it's called compacting energy. So very important Shakti. Basically, it's Maya. It's one of the function of Maya. They took, who is they? Those different bodies. They took primary means Pradhan, and secondary forms. Secondary forms means according to the modes. You get a body according to the modes.
Prabhu,
So, yes,
one
Prabhu?
question. This Pradhan energy, is it represented by the form of Parvati?
No. Parvati is way after.
Oh,
Parvati is
okay.
way after. No, Pradhan is the first. This is Prakriti in a gross form, in a how can I say, indifferentiated, unmixed. It's basically, it says here, Pradhan. See, equilibrium, it's in total neutrality. Then it becomes agitated by the glands. So Parvati will come much later. So let's go back to Karya Shrishti. So the Lord has entered. Who is that Lord, by the way? What is his name? We discussed last time.
Garbhodaksha.
Yes, and he's got another name, which is Hiranyagarbha.
Yeah.
Hiranyagarbha. So now he has entered, and of course, because he has entered, the body, the Virat, we're going to discuss today, Virat. So the Virat is the body, the gross body. Virat has two aspects we discussed long back in the first chapter, at the end of the first cantos and the third chapter. The Virat, which is basically the display, the external display of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. So the Lord has entered, then the body of the universe, he has entered, and it's going to be animated now. And not only the universe, but also the Jiv. We have been assembled. This Shakti, she's assembling the elements. And now the Lord takes a break. Before entering, I should have mentioned that first. Before entering, he takes a break. In Yoga Nidra. And Hiranyagarbha, that is Garbhodakashayi, then he enters. You follow? And now we're going to describe, again and again, we have discussed already Virat long back in the second chapter of the second canto, a little bit in the second chapter mostly. Yeah. But now we're going to discuss the Virat from a different angle in terms of Varnashram. It's very interesting. Okay. So are we all set? You okay? So Yasye Havayave Lokan Kalpayanti Manishinaha Katyad Adibir Ada Sapta Saptodvam Jagana Dibihi. So we are 36. Go ahead.
Okay, 36. The great philosophers imagine that the complete planetary system in the universe are displays of the different upper and lower limbs of the universal body of the Lord.
Yeah,
So-
so please explain, because see, Kalpayanti, Prabhupada says, imagine. So again and again, we have to unravel this. Is it imaginary? Is it real? Is it material? Is it spiritual? I notice devotees always crack their brain, they crack their head against the wall, based on that. I noticed that. So let's try to sort it out. Imagine, is it an imaginary form?
It's
Oh.
real, but it becomes manifest and unmanifest.
Yes, very good start, Prabhu. Very, very good start. Why is it on and off? Because
Because when there is creation, then you have the Virat Roop, and when there's dissolution, it becomes unmanifest.
exactly. So it's on and off. Vyakta, avyakta, 820 Gita. But now it looks like Srila Prabhupada is stressing on the imaginative aspect of the Virat in 36. Why is he doing that? There's some sound in the background. It's,
Oh, sorry.
I don't know what it is. So let's discuss, why could we say, Prabhupada is quite daring. He says it's imaginary, full stop. Of course, elsewhere he will say differently. So in what sense is it imaginary?
To relate with the modern philosophers.
Yeah, because when we say, we have discussed that before. When we say the mountains are his bones, the rivers are his veins, the trees are his hairs on the body, you know, the water is his semen. So it facilitates, I would say, the agnostic to have some kind of idea of the absolute. So in that sense, it's not false. It facilitates them, because they cannot access Krishna is God, Krishna is a small boy, barefoot. No, it's too much. And of course, I wrote here in 36, in the sense that Krishna has no material form. So anyway, but at other times, we should not fall into one side and forget the other. 1147, Krishna says, Gita, that this form is a product of my internal energy, sorry. So you understand? Because even Krishna himself calls the material nature Devi Shagunamayi. See? He doesn't say this is nonsense, this nature. This is law, no, he calls it Devi. Why? Because it belongs to him. So whatever belongs to him is Devi. You follow? So that is why in 1147 he says it's coming from my internal energy. But look at Bharat Maharaj in the 6th canto. Can you imagine? He's worshipping the demigod within the Virat, and he has accessed Bhav Bhakti. So how did he make good? He used he meditated, he worshipped the demigods in the Virat, understanding that they are limbs of the Lord. Then it's not Pitak Vida, Binadrik, he's not a separatist. You follow? So he's okay. That's okay. Of course, in Kali Yuga, it's not advised, because it's an overkill to worship demigods. Might as well, we live only 60 years, 70 years, whatever. Might as well take the shortcut. But if you don't separate, you're fine. If you understand the Virat is not separated from Krishna, you're fine. But even if you accept it's within Krishna, we're not going to waste our time, because we know better. We have Mahaprabhu, we have Panchatattva, we know better. For those who don't know better, it's useful, definitely. Let's see Vishwanath. Within the Virat, within the universe, is the Purush made of the planets, okay? Whose limbs the wise imagine to be the planets. See? It's well put. If you consider, okay, this is God. Well, this is God, yes, but this is not the supreme Satyam Param Dimahi. No. So in that sense, this is not, it's an imagination meant to help them. So Vishwanath explained actually this verse 36 goes all the way to 41. See the buttocks, the hips. That's definitely to facilitate the imaginations. Let's go further. Purushasya mukam brahma kshatram etasya bahavaha uvo vishu bhagavata padbyam shudro vyajayata.
The Brahmanas represent his mouth, the Kshatriyas his arms, the Vaishyas his thighs, and the Shudras are born of his legs.
Yeah, so what can you say? We're going to entering now the Virat. But it's a different approach than what we discussed in the second chapter. It's going to break it down according to Varna and according to planets also. Very interesting. And even we know someone not in our path of Bhakti, but others will break it down according to the chakra. Very interesting also. The Virat can be broken down according to chakra, starting from the genitals up to, the navel and all the way to Agya chakra, which is right here. So what can we say? It's quite, we have heard that millions of times. Brahmans are the mouths, Kshatriya are the arms, thighs, legs.
So we are not separate from the Lord.
Yeah. That is why it's a fact. I mean, you want to give, you do dan, you give dan to Brahmin. We discussed before, if you give dan to a very advanced devotee, Brahmin with Brahmin by definition, it's unlimited result. You give Brahman to dan to a Brahmin with a smarta, it's perhaps double result only. You give dan to a Shudra, it's sorry to say, but of course you should give. Bhaktisiddhanta was very clear. You should give a little something. Prasad, even I give sometimes, 50 cents. If I'm in a good mood, I give €1. Because, Bhaktisiddhanta said that is the yagya. They have to give dan.
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, one time he gave even Lakshmi to a beggar, I think. No, Prabhu?
Bhaktisiddhanta was one time he made a point very clear. He told the Grihasthas, you should give. What the hell you don't give? And he said, well, they're not Krishna conscious. He said, you give, that's your yagya. Now, what they do with it is a different story, but you give. You have done your duty. So, here in 37, he's breaking it down. And of course, Prabhupada is pushing the whole Varnashram. What is the purpose of Varnashram? Give me a quote on Varnashram, quoting Gita Bhagavatam, for instance. First canto, second chapter, there's millions of shlok explaining the proper understanding of Varnashram.
Varnashram is to uplift the consciousness of the living.
Yeah.
being.
Remember, your voice is quite feeble, Prabhu. So, Atashi Krishna, no, sorry, not this one. Atapumbir Vijashrishna Vanashram Vibhagashaha Svanushtitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhi Haritoshanam. The purpose of Vanashram Devi is to samsiddhi Haritoshanam. We should please Hari. Otherwise, it becomes asuric. If you do just Vanashram to promote yourself socially and professionally for the sake of exploiting the lower strata, then it's asuric. So What else you want to say on 37? Let me see. Something is happening. Okay, good. So let's see here. 37. This is Jushvanat. Yeah, the arose from the limbs. It's quite straightforward. The face, the cause, the phase, and the effect. The Brahmins are taken as non-different. Yeah. Kshatriya means the Kshatriyas, the Kshatris. Yeah, basically it's called Brahmacharya. The two important Varna is Brahman and Kshatriya. If that is in place, the whole world will function properly. The Vaishya and Shudra, they are below. Brahmacharya means everyone, the Brahmins will guide the kings, because the king has the executive power, and the kings also in return has to get on the case of the Brahmins if the Brahmin doesn't do his duty. He's got 6 or even 12 prescribed duties to Brahmins. What are the 6? At least let's discuss about the 6 prescribed duties of the Brahmins. He should, remember, he should study, should teach, study. Then deity worship, teach deity worship, do deity worship, and teach it. Then dan and giving dan. So that is the job. And if he doesn't do that, then the king has full right. My dear sir, there's something wrong here. Why don't you do your duty? And the Brahmin has to bow down and say, yes, sir. Sorry, So this is how it works. If that is in place, everything will roll out smoothly. Okay, so let's move on. It's quite straightforward. Buloka kalpita padbyam buvarloko sya nabitaha ridasvalok urasha maharloko mahatmanaha.
The lower planetary systems up to the limit of the earthly stratum are said to be situated in his legs. The middle planetary systems, beginning from Bhuvarloka, are situated in his navel. And the still higher planetary systems, occupied by the demigods and highly cultured sages and saints, are situated in the chest of the Supreme Lord. So, as you explained last time, and also you kind of, I had this confusion about the Virat Rupa. So you explain how each universe is the planets in each universe are found on the body of the Virat Rupa.
Yes.
And as we understand, there is this 14 planetary system, and the lower part is hellish planets, middle one is the earthly, and the 7 upper planetary system is heavenly planets up to Brahmaloka.
Exactly. So it makes sense. Try to remember the Gita 15th chapter. What's the name? What is it all about in the 15th chapter? Remember? Let me try to open the base. Remember the Ashvata tree? Ashvata tree, remember? Let me find Veda base right here. So remember this material world is compared to an inverted Ashvata. Remember? This is Gita, this is Bhakti Shastri. Yeah? So just like if you see a tree on the banks of the river, does it appear properly or does it appear upside down?
It appears upside down.
Yeah. So let's get into that because it's very interesting, a little bit, not much. 15:1. So the root cause of that tree, this is important, the root cause, it is stemming from where? See? The root cause.
The root cause is Krishna.
Well, we are in the material world, so You know, Krishna is Goloka Nivasati. He lives in Golok. But at least within the material world, who is the boss? Right here. Brahma.
Shiva. Oh,
Brahma is the highest planet. So you can see here, it's mentioned somewhere in 15.1, 15.2. Let me see. I just taught it the other day. I'm teaching the 15th chapter to another group. So in other words, see, listen to that. The real root is from Brahmalok. You follow? So let's go back to the diagram. Look, see, it's upside down. So it's stemming from the root of the reflected tree of the Gita, 15th chapter. The roots are situated in Brahmalok. And Brahmalok is on the highest part, because remember, the tree is inverted. So can you see my hand? We are on the lowest part of the universe, Brahmanda. Brahmanda, on means egg. Universe has a form of an egg. So Brahmalok is there on top. But since the tree is inverted, the tree grows from the top and it goes down. And the lower part of the tree, which is basically the upper part, is all the way down. You follow? But it stems from here. It starts from here. The root starts from Brahmalok, which is the highest lok. So we are in the middle. Om Bu Bhuva Swa. So we are here, Bulok. We're in the middle. So we are the navel on the level, on the side. In terms of the Virat, we are in the middle of the Virat. So it's very interesting. And if you tell someone, let's say you preach to an agnostic guy, or let's say he has an interest, but very feeble, no devotion, no interest in devotion, then you can use that as a preaching tool. You know, you meet someone who's into Kundalini yoga, then you preach about the Virat in terms of chakra. Oh, I like it. Thank you. And then from that, gradually, you can bring them in. So when you're going down below, all the way down, that's the feet of the Virat. Ankles, you know. So it's meant to help. We sometimes Prabhupada said the three worlds. That's what it is. Bulok. No, actually, it's not the three worlds, sorry. Three worlds will be lower worlds, intermediary, and higher. So we are here. See, it's funny. Here it says navel, here it says legs. So you can see, there is room for...
Bhuvarlok. Which type of living entities they reside there?
Yeah, so that's 5th canto. Om Bhuvarlok means antariksh. Antariksh. I don't know if you know that term, antariksh. And there, between Bu and Svar, there is no locus. It's just, of course, it's a Bhuvarlok, but it's so ethereal, Akash. What do you find there? You find Bhuts, Pisachas, Asuras, Rakshasas. And it's mentioned in Padma Puran that once you are in Svargalok, of course, there's different types of demigods. There's 8 types of demigods. When you fall out, you fall off from the platform of Svargalok. How do you know that you are growing old? You are a female, you are a male. But there's some symptoms that indicates you're coming to the end of your sojourn in Svargalok. Do you know? When the demigoddess becomes pregnant, she knows, this is pretty much the end of my life. And when your garland becomes wilted, see? And what Padma Puran explained, you just disappear, just like you have seen on the drama stage. They have traps. They just disappear very quickly, but you don't understand there is a trap. You don't see from the scene, from your audience. And there's a little hole in the what do you call it, the stage, and you just the actor just jumps into the hole, and you may say, wow, it's totally mystical. What happened? It disappears. So in the same way, you disappear like this, and as you go down, First, you start crying because you were in heaven and you're living and it's pitiful for you. So you cry and cry. And you traverse this region, Antariksh, Buvarlok, and you are being eaten. Of course, you may say your gross body stays there, but you are being nagged and bothered by all these entities in Buvarlok. As I say, they are subtle entities. They are ill intention. And then you cry and you suffer like hell. But eighth chapter of the Gita explains you still have a little punya karma. Just enough to get a good birth on Bhuloka. This is the earth. Not only the earth, but it's part of earth is part of that. So you have a little punya left, enough to get a good human form of life, like a crowpati in Mumbai or something. So what happened is you are being eaten, you are being beaten by those guys. And what happened, Padma explained very nicely, when you hit close to the earth, the atmosphere of the earth, you the soul, the Jiv, you become mixed with the raindrops, the rainwater that falls from the sky, from the clouds. And you enter the soil. And because you enter the soil, you are mixed with water, raindrops, then it's going to give rise to a sprouting of a particular vegetal. And you'll be eaten. And of course, you'll be eaten by herbivores. And you'll be eaten by man also. And that particular, see, that it's very technical and extremely complicated to understand because you just imagine the brain it takes. That particular soul that falls on the soil of the earth will be eaten by that particular male cow, a bull, we say, or whichever herbivores are there, a giraffe, a male giraffe, then it's going to impregnate the female. And then the soul will be transmitted by the semen of the male into the lady, into the female. And then the child will come about. See? So same for a human being, you pick up your vegetables, there's a soul in there. You eat, and it goes into your semen, and then you're going to impregnate your wife. That's the process. So it goes here. Bhuva means Antariksh. This is the mix between the soul and the raindrops. Anyways, off the class. Sorry. But I just answered your question, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, yes. But,
Yeah,
Prabhu,
yes, Prabhu.
the Asura, the Asur demons, they're not supposed to be in hellish planet. So
Depends, like depending on the caliber of the Asuras. Look at basically we have to draw a difference between Rakshas and Asura, and be careful. Don't fall into the trap of thinking they are the same. Asura means, there's a little echo. Asura means Dvobhuta Savalokeshmin Vishnu Bhakta Viparyaha. Whoever is not Krishna conscious is an Asura. Even if he has a three-piece suit and no horns on his head. He's very good looking, but he's an Asura. Why? Because he hates Krishna. That's the definition of Asura. Now, Rakshas is different. Rakshas means cannibals. And it depends on the caliber, the power of this cannibal. Look at Ravan. Ravan was so powerful. He had subdued all the earthly kings of the Surya dynasty for millions of years. And only Lord Ram came down to finish him off. So Asuras, if they are very powerful, they are all over the place. Of course, they don't bother on Earth because Earth is like so pitiful, they don't even bother. But the Rakshas, it's a type of demigod. Huh? You will see in the 8th canto. Why? Because they are mystical. They're much more powerful than humans. They can change forms. They are very good in talking. They have higher knowledge. It's beyond human form of life. We cannot deny. But the problem, they are cannibals. They eat humans alive. So they're all over the place. Okay, so I think we should not get sidetracked. And let's get down to... Now we are just going through. Huh? It's quite simple, you will see. Grivayam, Janalokosya, Tapaloka, Stanadvayat, Mudu, Murdabi, Satyalokas 2, Brahmaloka, Sanatanaha. Just continuation. From the forefront of the chest up to the neck of the universal form, the Lord, are situated the planetary system. Janalok, Tapalok, whereas Satyalok, which is basically Brahmalok, is situated on the head of the form. So this is 39. 39 is an important verse. Jiva Goswami discussed about 39. See? He's saying, he's quoting Sridhar Swami. In this verse, Brahmalok refers to the spiritual Vaikuntha planets. See? So we have to be very careful. Because sometimes Brahmalok means Brahmalok, yes, Satyalok, but here it means Vaikuntha. See? So, as I said, unless you have Sridhar Swami, such a powerful commentator, you're going to speculate. So now and then he goes to explain a little bit, Jiva Goswami, how do you obtain Vaikuntha Lok? Intense devotional service. You cannot go there only if you are Vedi Bhakti. You have to be a pure devotee, at least Raganug, on the platform of Aishvarya Bhav. And you get Vimukti, Shashti, Mukti, Sarupya, Samipya. See, Jiva Goswami, this is what he says. This is a verse from the 3rd canto. We should discuss, we should emulate all these things instead of topics, the newspaper and all these things. Yeah. Very interesting, huh? If you perspire due to ecstasy, then you will be promoted. Because that's ecstasy. Sometimes part of ecstasy is transpiration and yeah. Anyway, this is the commentary of Jiva Goswami on 39. Let's see, I've got more stuff here, 39. This is 42, we'll go back to 42. But see, this is the same order given by Jiva Goswami. When we say the 3 worlds, that's what we mean. Lower, above, we are here, we are middle. We are here. And then upper. Here again, Brahmalok means spiritual world. Huh? Even Jiva Goswami confirms. Yeah. So he's reiterating the same point. Brahmalok in 39 means Vaikuntha. Okay. So let's see what else you want to say on 39. Did you guys read the purport ahead of time?
Yes, bro.
Vishwanath, for the purpose of worship, it's not a fault to reverse the limbs. Breast after neck. Stama, nipple can also mean the lips. And again, Vishwanath said the same point here. Satyalok means Vaikuntha. This is not the object of meditation as the limb of the universal form because it is eternal. So it's making a point important that the topmost of the Virat is Satyalok, which is Vaikuntha, basically. See, so it's a very important point, huh? Personally, I'm learning something here. It's within the universe, but it's eternal. What else is eternal? There's another planet which is eternal in the material world. In our universe.
We cannot hear, Prabhu.
Sorry? You cannot hear?
Dhruvalok.
You want me? Yeah, Dhruvalok, Prabhu. Excellent. Dhruvalok doesn't die. It's Shvetadvip. It's the Vaikuntha Lok. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on, unless you have more to say. 4041, Statkaryam Shatalam Kliptam Urubyam Vitalam Viboho Janubyam Sutalam Shudam Jangabyam tu Talatalam Mahatalam tu Gulfa Byam Prapada Byam Rasatalam Patalam Pada Talata Iti Lokamaya Punam Puman. Sorry. Just continuation. Brahma is speaking. We're coming to the end of the chapter.
You can read Murshika if Mataji is not around.
Okay. My dear son Narad, know from me that there are 7 lower planetary systems out of the total 14. The first planetary system, known as Atala, is situated on the west. The second, Vitala, is situated on the south. The
Can
third,
anybody
Sutala,
hear?
on the knees.
Yeah, I
The
can hear.
fourth, Talatal, on the shanks. The fifth, Mahatal, on the ankles. The sixth, Rasatal, on the upper portion of the feet. And the seventh, Patal, on the soles of the feet. Thus the Virat form of the Lord is full of all planetary systems.
Yeah, so still description, and this is description right here we discussed in that book. So we can glean more information from the purport. It's interesting. If you want to go further, see, when I was taking the class with Buddhajan Prabhu, I remember he used to crisscross references.
I cannot hear anything. Can anybody else hear?
Yeah, I can hear, no problem. So, in other words, he's reiterating the point, huh? It cannot be full imaginary. See, Buddhajan is on my side. Because Virat is plenary portion of Super Soul. See, as I said, we have to have the full picture of the Virat. Don't be one-sided like a neophyte. No, it's useless. No. Totally not proper. It's an expansion. It's the display of the external display of Hiranyagarbha, you know. And what is, we discussed, I know it's not part of the lesson today, but as a reminder, what is the subtle form of the Virat? That's tricky now. Let's see if you have good memory. I'll take you there. That's why we should never spit on the Virat. This is not good. Let's go back to the end of the 3rd chapter of the 1st canto. See? As we go through the Bhagavatam, don't forget the original portion of the 1st canto. 1st canto is the base. Pada Padma. 1st and 2nd canto is the base. See? Look, same story. Conception of the Virat, of the Lord in the material world, is imaginary. So Prabhupada is, again, it is to enable the less intelligent and neophyte to adjust to the idea, but factually the Lord has no material form. But this is a very good start. Now let's carry on. I remember, I don't know if you remember those beautiful analogy. Clouds and dust are carried by the air. But less intelligent persons say that the sky is cloudy and the air is dirty. No, it's not true. Just like if you smell, you are close by, walking close by a yard, how do you say, a trash area where they litter all types of, things even sometimes in the nature. These rascals do it in France and nowadays. All kind of trash all over the place. Then it smells bad. Is the air dirty? No. The air is a transporter. It's a transmitter. And you walk 200 meters and the same air, now it's because you're walking by someone else's garden. It's full of roses. The same air. It's transmitting to your nose, to your nostrils. Oh, the air smells so good. No. The air is a transmitter. What smells good is the rose. The air is like a truck. It's carrying the aroma to your nostrils. So in the same way, it's a beautiful point. The neophytes implant material body conceptions on the self. Oh, I'm a man, I'm a female, I'm a giraffe. It doesn't exist. In that sense, the Virat doesn't exist. But actually, what is the Virat? What is the Virat? The Virat is right here. See? Buddhijam. Because Virat is plenary portion of Supersoul. So it helps some particular people. We should not forget that. Listen to that. As the gross cosmic manifestation is conceived as gigantic body of the Lord, so also the conception of his subtle form, the Virat has a subtle form also, which is simply realized without being seen, heard, or manifested. Give me a shlok in the Gita that talks about the subtle form of the Virat. Let's see if you can remember. See, okay.
The universal form, Prabhu, the universal form.
Yeah, but I was thinking more in terms of the 9th chapter, 9.4. 9.4. Mayatatamidam savam jagadvakta murtina matstani savabhutani nachaham tejavashtitaha. See? Krishna says, by me, avyakta murtina. That's very precise. In my unmanifested murti, avyakta murtina, I pervade and support all living beings in the creation. I'm in them, but me, they're all in me, but me, I'm not in them. So what we see is the Virat is supporting everything. But, sorry, Krishna is elsewhere. So this is the subtle form of the Virat, is avyakta. You cannot see, you cannot hear it, you cannot, it's not it's avyakta. Avyakta means what? Unmanifested. And then Prabhupada goes further. All these gross or subtle conceptions are in relationship with the living beings. Are we our mind? Are we our intelligence? Are we our false ego? No. It's still a false identification. We are jivas. And the Virat, what is the Virat? Again, back to Buddhijam Prabhu. Plenary portion of Supersoul. Hiranyagarbha. So the Virat is the display, the external display of the Supersoul. Because some people who cannot relate to Supersoul, it's too abstract, it's too high. They will say, they will relate to the external display of the Supersoul. You follow? That is why Prabhupada explained it's a godless display. Beautifully said. It's a godless display. Godless means there is no God. It's meant for those who are godless. And at least it will rope them in towards Krishna. You follow? See, it's a very interesting topic because oftentimes devotees get stuck against the wall. The Virat, which is very much appreciated by the impersonalists, is not an internal form of the Lord. It's manifested by the supreme will after the ingredients. As we discussed, it's temporary. You know that. Now, we should not, Prabhupada says, we should not fall into the trap of equating the two, the Virat and the Archa deity, Archa Vigraha. Because the Archa Vigraha is non-different. Virat is non-different, but you're not going to worship the Virat. Except one guy in Mumbai, I remember, Adipurush Prabhu used to tell me that. There was one Virat worshipper in Mumbai, and he was honest. He was honest. Just like Sanjay. Sanjay is the worshipper of the Virat. You can see, but at the end of the Gita, what does he say? Oh, I'm thrilled by this conversation. My bodies are standing on end. Can you imagine? Sanjay, by hearing this conversation, his bodies were standing on end. But when you ask him, who is your Ishtadev? Virat.
And Prabhu, the Mayavadis also, they take this Virat to be like all demigods and God are one. So
Yeah, but yes, but at the end of the day, what do they want? They want to merge. They're going to use, just like some even Mayavad, they use Krishna. I'm going to worship Krishna. Yes, very good. To chant even. Tilak. But what do they want? They want to merge. And Kanai Krishna Prabhu, my Shastra Guru, is one of them. He's saying if they don't get the mercy of Krishna, they cannot even merge. Finish. Because if you have a deceptive nature towards Krishna, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So at least if you want to merge, okay, you should be at least somewhat devotionally inclined and please Krishna really. My dear Krishna, I'm worshiping you out of love, but I want to merge. Then that's okay. But if you are totally against Krishna, deceptive, and you are extremely, what's the word? Corrupted, ill intention, then you're not going to be granted even the boon to merge. This is the point. So anyway, we can go on and on the Virat. It's a very important topic. Devotees have a hard time to grasp it, I notice.
And also Prabhupada took this display of the 14 planetary system to build the Vedic planetary temple.
Yeah.
To show the scientists to defeat them about the
that is excellent. See, Prabhupada was not against it. Did you notice in Bhagavatam? I mean, should I remind you how many times? Look at, we are in the middle of the second canto. Already discussed about the Virat. Where? Second chapter. Not Prabhupada, it's actually Shukadev. Second chapter. Again here. Fifth chapter. Again in the third canto. So if it is a nonsensical topic, why is it addressed all the time? It's part of the 10 topics. You have to, as far as possible, you have to grasp it to understand it. So you can explain to people. So we should always understand things as far as possible in proper perspective, in Tattva. As far as, in Tattva. You can understand the Virat in Tattva. See, all these, look at this. This is third canto. Virat, everywhere. Yeah, anyway, I'm always getting carried away by the Virats. So let's finish the chapter, then we'll carry on. What else you want to say on this chapter? That's 41. Let's see what Vishwanath has to say. The method of meditation on the 14 planets, the 7 upper, the 7 lower. Sutala, of course, be careful. Huh? You have to be very careful with Sutala. Very, very careful. Huh? This is pure. Why? Prahlad lives there. Bali lives there.
Prabhu, I have one question.
Yeah.
Like now on planet Earth, Kalyug, the process to attain God is Harinam Sankirtan. Is it
Yes.
the same in higher planetary system and lower planetary system?
Well, no, we have been graced by this. Remember the verse. What is it? Radhabhav duti suvaritam nomi Krishna svarupam. See, the Premanand Yuga avatar is avatari. Which Mahaprabhu did we get 500 years ago? We didn't get a Yuga avatar. He's also Yuga avatar, yes, but his avatari is Krishna himself, and is giving Radhabhav, Radha Duti, the bhav of Radha and the Duti, the complexion. That's unheard of. That's not to be compared with other Mahaprabhu who comes in other Kali Yugas. And even other planets, higher planets than the Earth. Why do you think, you will see in this 5th canto, it's mentioned twice, why do you think the demigods are lining up? They're lining up. Take verse in this Sankirtan movement, as launched by Mahaprabhu. Already they were told by Mahaprabhu, you come down in Navadvip before me, prepare the ground. So it's just like Krishna, he told the demigods, you come down. Bhumi came to see Brahma, all together they went to Shvetadvip, Dhruvalok, please do something. So many Rakshas, so many belligerent Kshatriyas. And the Lord's, yes, I'm coming, come down. You guys prepare the ground. You go first, prepare. You have seen the Yadus. Who are the Yadus? They are
Who are the
coming from
Yadus?
Dwarka.
They're coming from Dwarka.
Exactly. And you know what happened? I was teaching that the other day to a different group. The demigods entered the bodies of the Dwarkabasi in Dwarka on this planet.
The body of
Sorry,
the Dwarkabasi on this planet.
I cannot hear. I cannot hear. Anyway, so the demigods entered the bodies of the Dwarkabasis. And when they started to fight amongst themselves, then the demigods got out of their bodies. Dwarkabasi went back to Dwarka, and the demigods came out from the body of the Dwarkabasi and went back to his respective abode. So all this to say that, yes, other planets will benefit. Like, for instance, Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur went to the moon after leaving. He left shortly. He left prematurely because he was not happy with the turn of events amongst his disciples. He was not happy. He left prematurely. And through the Acharya, they can benefit. Sometimes Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to be called upon by demigods to deliberate on a particular issue. This is the level of Acharya. Even demigods will take heed from them. So, but the impact, the most powerful impact of Mahaprabhu is here, is Mayapur. Why do you think we should go and live in Mayapur? Mayapur is the only place in the universe which is going to become more and more expanded and revealed and magnified. All the other places, as Kali Yuga progresses, will disappear. Not disappear per se, but Podramaya will become so thick you won't be able to enter unless you're very advanced. Even Vrindavan, even Puri, even all these other places. As Kali Yuga progresses, everything's going to be magnified in Mayapur. Prabhupada knew it. Even all the other sampradayas will merge into Mahaprabhu's. It's mentioned in Rig Veda. So you can see we are extremely fortunate. We are part of the first rankings, the first ranks. You know, you go to the theater, you are in the first, second rank. You see much better than if you are way back because you paid less. So this is what happened. You know, we are on the first row, second row. That's why we should not blow this chance. And we have to understand we are into Mahaprabhu's Lila. Prabhupada, all these great souls, they are part of the crew, they are part of the entourage of Mahaprabhu. So this is, we're not into an ordinary Hindu movement. Nothing to do with India, this movement. It's totally transcendental. Anyway, I got carried away a little bit. Sorry. So let's perhaps finish it off. Tell me if you have anything to say, but it's basically description. It's not rocket science. Description of the positioning of the planets according to the part of the Virat. 42. Burloka kalpita padbyam bhuvalokosya nabitaha svalokam kalpito murna itiva loka kalpanaha. Others may divide.
No, I'm reading, Prabhu.
Okay,
Others
read
may
it.
divide the whole planetary system into three divisions, namely the lower planetary systems on the legs up to the Earth, and the middle planetary system on the navel, and the upper planetary system Swarlok from the chest to the head of the Supreme Personality. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to the second canto, 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Cause of All Causes.
Exactly. See, very interesting. It says 42, 14 divisions. Sometimes we say 14 worlds, you know. Sometimes we say 3 worlds. Papa said 14. I imagine by others. You know, so we use in our speech we use similes, analogies to kind of reveal the thing, but these are just helps. This is not the absolute truth, the way we speak. So it's in order to facilitate the understanding of people, a certain portion of people. Just like Archa, for the neophyte devotee, oh, they will say, oh, it's for neophyte. Prabhupada says that sometimes, it's for neophyte. But what it means if you're an advanced devotee, it's no more neophyte. It's because you understand the Lord is not different from the Archa Vigraha. You follow? But as long as you create a difference between Archa and the Lord, you're a neophyte. But as soon as you understand the Archa Vigraha is non-different, then you are no more a neophyte. So in the same way, if you understand as far as possible the Virat, you understand in Tattva the Virat, and you appreciate it, you don't worship. Of course, you're not going to, you know, turn your interest or your devotion to the Virat, but you understand it in Tattva. Then you are getting advanced. If you say, no, Prabhu, in the class, oh, it's useless. It's for lower people. Forget it. Then you're a neophyte. That's what it means. So we have to understand if it is in the Virat, we should pay attention. If it is in the Bhagavatam, sorry. Otherwise, why is it mentioned again and again and all over the place? That's the beauty of the 9 first cantos. People say, oh, but Prabhu, I don't like it. It's boring. Then you're a neophyte. Very simple. People will go in the 5th canto, oh, it's boring. You go in the 9th canto, oh, list of genealogy, names. He's the son of this, he's the grandson of this. Oh, it's boring, Prabhu. I love genealogy. In my room, I've got a whole chart of the whole genealogy of the Bhagavatam. I love it. So it's all about consciousness, you know. So let's get into the 6th canto, the 6th chapter, unless you have questions. Okay, so let's get down. So always remember, this is very important, the 6 questions of Narad, yes. Remember, this is very important to understand. I think I'm getting lost here. The 6 questions, what is 252, remember? Let's go back to 252. When you get lost, you go back to 252. Remember, we discussed, I have to decrease it here. Yeah. We discussed Yad Grupam, Yadishtanam, Yatashkrishtam, Idam, Yamstanam, and now we're going to discuss in the 6th chapter, Yascha. Can you see? Yascha. We're going to discuss that up to 261 to 2618. See, it says Param Yascha. This is the 6th question, basically. So it means under whose control all this is being done. Let me close this because I think I decreased it so much, I lost it. Yeah. So, yeah, I notice on the computer when you decrease it, you lose it. Interesting. So let me reopen it properly. Can you see? Oh, I lost you.
No.
Oh, I see. No voice, you're saying. Huh? No. Punachanda, I think it's having to do with you, no voice. Huh?
We can hear you, Prabhu.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
think Mataji has an issue.
Well, now I'm okay after that, Prabhu. Thank
Okay.
you.
I just want to reopen this because this is very interesting. And I notice each time I make it big, I lose it. It's very funny. See, Krama Sandarbha, this is beautiful comment. Krama means sequence, order. Jiva Goswami, what he has done in his Sat Sandarbha, is talking erratically by Tadva. Jiva Goswami is such a powerful acharya. You know what he does? He has the brain, just imagine, when he makes a point, he talks about the Virat. He has the capacity to remember all the verses of Bhagavatam that deals with the Virat. You follow the intelligence of Jiva Goswami? Irrespective of the cantos, he can do that, Jiva Goswami. He knows the Bhagavatam on the palm of his hand. So what he has done to facilitate people like us who are very neophyte, he has written another Sandarbha, which is called Krama Sandarbha, means in order. And what it does here, I'll show you. I mean, Jiva Goswami is a fabulous personality. See? So I'll show you what he has done. So you go down to, we are into the 6th chapter right here. And then he goes, this is his, I mean, his prodigious personality. See? 261, and then he goes 263, 264, sometimes 265, and sometimes he jumps, you know, like for instance, 268, 2613. So you may say, what's happening here? Because it means the rest has been discussed in his Sat Sandarbha. Because in the Sat Sandarbha, he doesn't do it krama. Krama means in order sequentially. In the Sat Sandarbha, what he does, he goes by tattva. For instance, tattva means we were discussing about the Virat. You are able to pull out verses from all over the place, even outside the Bhagavatam, even outside the Gita, that pertains to Virat. This is tattva. That's a very high level of proficiency. Very, very high. So unless you need the first grasp of the Bhagavatam, even second reading, third reading, 5 reading, 10 readings, then only you have gradually, very, very slowly you get tattva. Otherwise, you need krama in the beginning. Krama is this one. Krama means in orderly form. This is Jiva Goswami. This is his job. Okay, so let's open the other one, because I have to admit this Gauranga Darshan has done a tremendous job. I mean, I don't know him personally, but it's See, he has done this work. You have these books, I guess. Huh? So you go down and you find it. This is chapter 8. You go up a little bit. Yeah, 7 and 6. This is right here. Yeah. Yes. So try to see the link. We are into Virat. We have discussed that it's the external display of our Hiranyagarbha. And of course, we can relate it in terms of Vanashram, in terms of planetary systems. And now we're entering very interesting Purusha Shukta. What is that? I don't know if you've been to Mayapur long back, Bhaktivedanta Purna Maharaj and his boys, always singing Purusha Shukta. Have you heard it already?
In the prayers.
Prayers,
by
excellent. Very lengthy
the-
prayers.
By the demigods to Kshirodakashayi Vishnu.
To Garbhodakashayi Vishnu.
Garbhodakashayi.
Yeah. So see, you understand now gradually the link? Here we went to the external display of Garbhodakashayi Hiranyagarbha, basically. And now we're going to go up. We're going behind the external display. We're going up to the source of the Virat. And Shukadev, what's going to happen? Now Lord Brahma will speak. Because remember, it's called Brahma Narad Samvada. So Narad was asking question, and Brahma now he has been speaking already in chapter 5. He's going to carry on speaking. You will see. And it's going to be more and more explicit. And gradually he's going to explain the different causes. You will see. It's a very interesting chapter. I'm still having to do with 252. Never forget 252. Never forget 252. Because 252, these are the 6 questions of Narad, remember? 252. Never forget those 6 questions, right here. See? This is the skeleton, I mean, I would say the hinge of this section of Bhagavatam. Everything revolves on those 6 questions. Yadrupam, we covered. Yadishtanam, we covered. Now we are entering. See? Look. Yat Param, we discussed what it depends on. Yascha, this is the beginning of the 6th chapter. These answers are very lofty, very lofty. Brahma has to, only Brahma can answer. That is why in the previous chapter, in the 4th chapter, remember, even Shukadev himself is taking shelter of Krishna. So much, the questions of Parikshit were so high also. Look, how does the Lord create? How does he engage in his energies? How does he expand himself? So even Shukadev is taking shelter for at least 15 shlok. Please help me decorate my words. And what he does, he quotes another story, the story of Brahma and
Brahma Narada Samvad.
So you have to understand the intricacies of the Bhagavatam, see? And the 6 questions are right here. We should be very aware of those 6 questions. There are 6 questions, and of course, there are a little more after. And we remember we discussed, why do you perform tapa, my dear father? Of course, he's a sharp person, Narad. Very quickly understood, well, if you meditate on someone, you must be someone higher. And immediately Brahma admitted, yes, you're right. And he explains the externals of the universe. Karan Shrishti, Karya Shrishti. Then he explained the Virat in terms of the constituents of the Virat, how it can be differently understood in terms of gross aspect, the display of the material nature, Dibut, the mountains, the rivers, okay, and in terms of Vanashram also. So, this is a very thorough explanation. Even Shukadev making Brahma speaks, because out of respect, Shukadev, there's not even speaking himself. He prays to Krishna, he prays to the Lord, remember? He prays here. See, he prays, he knows. Who am I even and he's going to quote another Prabhu, another Brahma, to make sure he doesn't make a mistake. And also, Madhyada Vyatikrama, out of respect, deference. It's always better to quote devotees. It's a very good habit. So now we are back in the 6th chapter. Yascha. This is the final question of Nara. That's going to be answered in the beginning of the 6th. See? So that you have to understand the articulations in each canto. And as you do that, then you will understand that actually it's one book. It's not 12 books. It's one book. There's 335 chapters in the Gita, in the Bhagavatam. So it's one book with 335 chapters. But can you carry such a big book? No. So that's why yesterday I broke it down. Okay. So let's get down to the details. Okay, let's close this. Let's close this also. Okay. And we can go into Vishwanath. That's what I do, I don't speak much out of my own accord because I know we have to do that. You quote Prabhupada, you quote Jiva Goswami, you quote Burijan Prabhu, That's the job of a devotee. You just quote. Quote Krishna, of course, Shukadev, Let's see where we are. Vishwanath is right here. 6 cantos. See? 6, we are here. No, this is 2nd canto, 6th chapter. Yeah. We can open also Jiva. Jiva Goswami is definitely Tapacharya. So oftentimes Jiva Goswami is more complicated because he came in 16th century, Sorry, this is, 6. Sorry, I blew it. It's right here. 6, and we are here. Voila. Yeah, this is. See, Jiva Goswami, look at what it does. It doesn't go step by step. This is Krama. If you want Jiva Goswami in a sequentially, you have to go to Krama Sandarbha. It's such on a high level, Jiva Goswami. That's why no one opens his mouth. It's such on a high level, Jiva Goswami. Look at it does. When he just extract some shlok in each chapter and is going to discuss. Not only discussing from that section, from all over the world he quotes. Padma Puran. There was no computer in 16th century. You understand the brain of Jiva Goswami? He's quoting all over the world on each tattva, Upanishad, Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavatam, Puranas, Upanishad. He has a full understanding of the whole Chatur Veda. This is Jiva Goswami. See, it's beyond human range. Prabhupada said he's the most enlightened Acharya in the story of creation. Past, present, future. This is Jiva Goswami. Okay, so let's open a few more things. Let's get down to 6th chapter. Okay. Brahmovacha vacham vane mukam kshetram chondasam sapta datavaha havya kavyamritam kavyamritananam jiva sarva rasasya cha.
Okay. Lord Brahma said, the mouth of the Virat Purusha, the universal form of the Lord, is the generating center of the voice, and the controlling deity is fire. His skin and the 6 other layers are the generating centers of the Vedic hymns, and his tongue is the productive center of different foodstuffs and delicacies for offering to the demigods, the forefathers, and the general mass of people. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So these are my notes. See, that's why I told you many times, you be very precise in your notes. Once you start teaching, it's going to help you tremendously. See my notes? Look at this. 22 years ago, October 12, Buddhichan. See, I was very thorough. Buddhichan Prabhu used to tell me, Madhavendra, you mark all the papers. So I would help Buddhichan to mark the papers. He would not even bother to mark. He said, you do it. So I was like the assistant, you know. That's why, you know, that's what it takes. You know, if you're a good student, you're going to be a good teacher. Sukta, see, Purusha, well-spoken, Rigved. It's coming in Rigved, can you imagine? This is original Veda. Garbhoda Kashai. Sometimes Paramatma or Mahavishnu, but oftentimes it's meant, you know, you have heard the word Sahasra, Sirsha, Purusha, Sahasraksha, Sahasra, but when you go to Mayapur, you hear the boys all the time in the Yagya. Did you hear? Sabumin, Vishvato, Vredva. You hear the boys, they're always singing that day and night. Purusha Shukta. This is very powerful prayers. Very, very powerful prayers. So confirmed, it means what? It has been said before. When you confirm something, it means it has been said before. It's going to be reaffirmed in this chapter. Very important point. Those prayers are addressed to a specific Purush, yes, Garbhoda Kashai, whereas the function can be performed by another one. So Purusha Shukta describes the Virats. See, how can we say the Virat is useless? We have to be very careful. So you want to discuss, Purnachandra, a little bit on this verse? Go ahead. I mean, you just pull out a few points from the purport, you know. I know it's not easy. If you guys didn't study that far, you know. That's what we used to do as soon as we finish. There were some listeners, you know, they're just freelance listeners. What they would do, they finish Bhagavatam, they start again, they start again. They don't do an exam, no, but they love to hear. So at the end of the day, after 10 years, they have a good grasp. They can speak out, even though they don't have BV, but they heard the Bhagavatam 5 times. So they know. Okay, so let's discuss. It's continuation of basically of the 5th chapter. There's the 6 layers. So it's very important because remember in 111, Satyam Param Dimahi. As soon as you hear Dimahi, what does it mean? When you hear Dimahi, it means what? Means Gayatri.
Yeah.
So Gayatri is part of the Bhagavatam. And here Prabhupada goes on to say,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, Gayatri is part of the Bhagavatam, or
Yeah.
Bhagavatam comes from Gayatri mantra?
Yeah, of course. But it's mentioned in Gayatri, it's described in Bhagavatam. You're right. If you are,
Because
yes, you're
we
right.
were in Mayapur, we were listening to Banu Swami.
Yeah, I
And,
was there in class, I remember.
Yeah, so ultimately he described everything, and then at the end it was Chaturi Sloki
Exactly,
and
exactly.
topmost Everything comes from Gayatri Mantra.
It said Bij Mula Mantra.
Yeah, so yes, I agree. I fully agree. Let's backtrack a little bit. Lord Brahma heard, he was afraid and down below the stem. He came back up. He heard tap, tap, tap. Okay. So he meditated, I think 1,000 celestial years. Can you imagine? Then he heard the flute. The first item is the flute. Then the flute entered, is here, and then into the heart. Tene Brahma Adikavaye is Adikavi Brahma. So Brahma in that verse means Vedic knowledge, and the source of Vedic knowledge is Gayatri. You're right, but before Gayatri is the flute of Krishna. So it means what? It means who's playing the flute? Is it Lord Narayan? Is it Lord Krishna? Is it Nrsimhadev? Venu Madhuri. Krishna has 4 qualities that no one else has. Lila Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, Prem Madhuri. So it means what? It means the absolute truth is Krishna. That's another proof. Then flute, then entering the heart, Gayatri, then Chatushloki, or Brahmavakya, you could say. Even we could say between Gayatri and Chatushloki, Brahmavakya. That's the home. Om. Okay. Then Gayatri. Chatushloki. Chatushloki, Lord Brahma told Narad, you please expand it. And of course, we know that Narad delegated to Vyas. So when I say that Satyam Param Dimahi, Dimahi is the what do you call it, the symptom of Gayatri. So that is why Prabhupada here, look at the purport 1261, is saying Gayatri is the beginning of all Vedic mantras. It is explained in the first volume, 111. See? And then he goes on to explain very nicely. See, further up in the beginning of the purport, his skin and other 6 layers of bodily construction are the representative generating centers of the 7 kinds of Vedic hymns, like the Gayatri. So we can say that even the Virat, the external display of the Virat, within the Virat, everything is there. Everything is there. But we should not stop at the Virat. We should understand, okay, the Virat is the outer display. Where is it coming from? That is why Narad is asking in 252. He's asking, what is it composed of? That's what we're going to study now. It's a Rupam Yaschat, 252. What is it composed of? So a devotee will go behind, okay, the Virat, I understand, is the external display of Garbhoda Kashaya Vishnu. Okay, where is Garbhoda Kashaya Vishnu coming from? Okay, it's coming from Mahavishnu. Where is Mahavishnu coming from? Mahashankarshan. Okay. And then further up, Lord Narayan. Where's Lord Narayan coming from? From the Chatuvyuha, the first Chatuvyuha, the Mool Chatuvyuha. It's coming from the Shankarshan of the first Chatuvyuha. And then the Mool Chatuvyuha, the first Chatuvyuha, is coming from where? From Lord Balaram. And Lord Balaram is coming from whom? From Rajanandan, Lord Krishna, Vrindavan. So that's why we appreciate the Virat, but we don't stop there. But we appreciate, definitely. And we should not relinquish the Virat to a lower subject. No. Again, we are into Virat, chapter 6. So we have to be very careful not to pass judgment quickly. See, now is again Vishwanath. The form of the totality of jivas is made of sattvika and rajasic ahankar. Remember, we discussed everything is interconnected. Sorry. We discussed so many times. Look, we discussed right here. Everyone, all the jivas are Everything in the beginning is goodness, but we want to, because of the drive, we want to enjoy svabhav. We are pushed urged by our fruitive actions. Then it breaks down to passion and ignorance. Karana, we discuss the cause, why this universe is all about, because we want to enjoy passion. And then the effect, passion will result into ignorance. You follow? And because of that only, we have senses and we're attracted by sense objects right here. So everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. So what it does, Lord Brahma here, he re-explained the whole thing. See, it's such an important topic. It is re-explained. And just like Sankhya Yoga in the third canto, it will be explained twice because it's a tough topic. Krishna sometimes does that. He re-explains twice something, thrice, because he knows they won't get it in the first time. So now he's going to explain, very interesting, up to 17 first verses, the efficient cause, the material cause, and the efficient cause. Okay? So that's, we're going to discuss about that. Okay, stop me if you have any questions. Huh? So what does he do here, Srila Prabhupada, in 261? Did you notice? I don't know if you have read that far, by the way. Did you read that far?
I did it,
Prabhu,
Prabhu.
Prabhu,
Yeah, I understand. I mean,
why we should not sing Gayatri, like we should do it not with
why should we
open
sing
knees.
Gayatri?
Why we should not sing that Gayatri like openly, like
Because it's Pancharatrika Vidhi. So Pancharatrika Vidhi. See, when we get the Nam, It's it's not a mantra actually. It's Nam, Harinam Diksha, Harinam Prabhu. It's technically it's a Nam. It's name of the Lord. Gayatri is mantra. It's different. See, Gayatri will take you all the way to Vaikunt. But if you want to go to Golok Vrindavan, you have to get into the Nam of the Lord. So that is why between the two, Harinam is more powerful. Even Madhavendra Puri Gosai, I don't know if you know that. At the end of his life, there's a severe echo. I don't know where it's coming from. But Madhavendra Puri Gosai, even at the end of his life, he stopped chanting his Gayatri. You know, I mean, it's still Pancharatrika Vidhi. Because he said, well, I'm in touch with that little baby who crawled into the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. I don't think I need to do anything else. Of course, he's not a Vedi Bhakta, but Devendra Puri Gosai is the original Kalpataru in the spiritual world in Golok Vrindavan. So you cannot imitate such persons, but he himself is stopped. All the Pancharatrika Vidhi is only into chanting Hare Krishna purely. You have seen the very advanced devotees, they don't chant Gayatri anymore. They stop chanting Gayatri. That's still within the realm of Pancharatrika Vidhi. They only concentrate on Harinam. But can we imitate them? No, because we are Vedi Bhaktas. The Anga of Bhakti who's going to take us to Golok Vrindavan or Navadvip is Harinam and Bhagavatam, of course. Because Bhagavat Shravan is superior. In Kali Yuga, Bhagavat Shravan, Bhagavat Vidhi is superior to Pancharatrika Vidhi. This is a fact, Prabhupada said. I mean, just look at the practicality. If you tell Prabhupada, oh, he's a book distributor, but we need him back in the deity worship department. What Prabhupada will say?
No, never.
You
He
will
will
never
say-
agree.
He will say, please don't take him away. Don't take him away. One time, Vishika Prabhu told me the story, very funny story. He was doing the arati to Krishna Balaram in Vrindavan, and Prabhupada just came in front paying his obeisances. There was lots of devotees behind. So Vishika Prabhu was a bit nervous, can you imagine? You're doing puja, your guru is there. And he's not he's a topmost book distributor. And when he threw the water, he was so much shaking and nervous. He threw the water. And practically speaking, he splashed a little bit. Srila Prabhupada. So he told me he was thinking, I'm finished. My spiritual life is finished. Story is over. And Prabhupada turned to Tamal Krishna Maharaj. He said, who is that devotee? He was annoyed. Prabhupada was annoyed. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj saved the situation. He said, he's a very good book distributor. Prabhupada immediately abated his anger. He said, oh, that's okay. So you can see. You can see. He's into Panchadravidi. He's doing the arati to Lord Krishna Balaram. Oh, he's a book distributor. That's okay. Book distribution is Bhagavat Vidi. Bhagavat Shranam. Harinam Sankirtan. This is Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu knew. He knew. Even he told Jiva Goswami is telling you, Agriyasta, do some deity worship. Yes, it's important. I do. But I'm not going to spend the whole day. You know, should I do more deity worship, or should I finish my rounds? As simple as that. You know? Does it help, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, even Prabhupada said that all devotees doing deity worship could at least one time per week go to Harinam Sankirtan.
Exactly, that's what I do. I'm a busy guy, but on Saturday or Friday, I go out on books. I know. It's going to keep my sanity. Otherwise, I go nuts. As
He
simple
said
as
that devotees doing deity worship, if they don't go Harinam Sankirtan, they will have this tendency to do offenses there.
Yeah, very often Prabhupada is heavy. And you have seen in Upadeshamrita, he's saying they are neophytes, they're ringing the bell. He told his godbrothers, they're ringing the bell all day. It's heavy. This is heavy stuff. That's why Prabhupada, he excused himself. He apologized himself at the end. Please forgive me, I was a bit heavy. And his godbrother said, no, it's okay. You are such an empowered personality. So as if to say, don't, like I was told on Friday, I have to do two deities, two project, what do you call it, arati. I'm going to do it, but because I know sometimes there's a lack of pujari. It's good for me, you know, I touch Krishna, I pray to Krishna, I worship Krishna. It's important. But if she were to tell me, okay, do it all week, I say, no, I'm sorry. I can do one or two, okay, once in a while. But anyway, so I think we have reached the time. Read ahead, because up to, see, again, 16 or 17, this is very important discussion. We're going to discuss the efficient cause and the material cause. Let me put the cable. Yeah, let me do it before I lose everything. Voila. So read ahead. Read ahead. So tell me, are you still into exams and all these things? Because it's been years we haven't discussed about that. Because as far as I remember, you haven't done anything in that first canto, second canto. Perhaps you have done, Purnachandra has done something, perhaps. Yeah, Mataji.
Prabhu, personally, for me, I'm back from Mayapur, and I really want to take all the assessments seriously now,
Yeah,
because now this is my focus.
okay.
Yeah.
So, because see what I propose. Of course, at one point you will have to catch up the first canto because nothing was submitted.
Yeah,
But
I have started studying first canto again.
that's good.
So
I'm going to be teaching. They asked me to come and teach in Germany at the end of June. And I'm going to do, if you can join actually online, I'm going to do chapter 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They invited me in Singalayam Kshetra in southern Germany. So if you want to join, you're most welcome. It will be the end of the June or something. So what we can do for those who want to do the exam, because there's 10 chapters in second canto, we can break it into there's 3 modules, remember? There's 3 modules. So to facilitate you, I would say take the exam for this module. Let's go back right here. See? The 3 modules of the second canto. 1 to 3. Superiority of Bhakti Yoga. And now we're into module 2, Sarga and Visarga. This is Brahma, Narad, Samvad, okay? And then the end of the second canto is extremely powerful. Chatushloki is there. So if you want, Arinishta, you can concentrate now on chapter 4 to 7. And even more Prabhu, or I would say, because it's fresh in your mind, you know. And basically what it's all about, you have to know, I'm going to tell you, look, tell me 252, the 6 questions of Narad, right? They are right here. And give me a brief answer of each one. I'm not going to make it complicated, but you should know. Of course, you should know. We discussed at length. Yad Rupam. Then you should do Karma, Kal, Svabhav, Jiv. You should concentrate on the middle module of the second canto. And that once that is done, you have to write an essay also on this. You can write an essay. I'll make it simple for you all. You write one essay. What should I do? Otherwise, one essay for the whole canto. Usually the standard, just to tell you, the standard is 1 essay per module. Can you imagine? So, you know, BV means you become quite proficient. You become seasoned, a seasoned of the Bhagavatam. Otherwise, people stop usually at Bhakti Shastri because already they're sweating like hell after Bhakti Shastri. So you tell them, Prabhu, no, you have to carry on into BV. They say, well, I have something to do, you know. So BV is definitely a different notch. I mean, it's up to you. You tell me, do you feel like writing 1 essay per module or 1 essay for the whole canto?
I will let you know, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the more you study, the more you take exams, the more you remember.
Yeah,
So I'll let you
exactly.
know.
Assessment is important to you know, to evaluate yourself. Just like you know, you play tennis and there's a match, there is a competition, your level is being assessed. You have been taking classes, you have been taking technical tips, and now this is a competition. So it's important. We cannot deny assessment even in Shastric study. It's important. Otherwise, it goes one ear, goes out the other. It's called consolidating the learning. And I remember because it was quite ungrateful. I mean, it was a little, I used to be a student and at the same time I had to assess others. So, you know, it was a bit delicate for me because I was part of the student and Buddhism said, okay, you also assess them. So I had 2 hats, you know. And I notice it helps to be assessed, to assess others and to be assessed. And remember, you have to give also 1 verbal presentation. In other words, very simple. What you do, you give an essay, and then you take half an hour. I'll give you a slot time. You explain your essay to the three of us, the four of us, and you will be noted by them also, by me and by them. So we will discuss also what it should be like, the oral essay. You have to give a presentation or introduction, give a time for answers. You have to manage your time management. Don't go overboard, time for questions. Should be well wrapped up, you know? Because you have to be a good speaker and a good writer. Yeah. Anyway. So Arenishta is interested. Who else is interested by the exam? Only her? Anyway, that's good enough. Hare Krishna, everyone. Let me stop.